news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
Now, whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
Hey yo, what's up, everybody? We're doing a quick show. Maybe not a quick show. You never know. It's never quick. Never quick with me. Yeah, they only got my first name, but no, I wanted to make sure I got the right title because this is the point that I wanted to make in this. And I know you grinders that have tuned in over the course of time know that we needed a hero. Next Gen didn't look too hot as of last week. And we got our hero today.
I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
That's right, Arnold. Shout out to Arnold being in Predator. Sucks that he's paid DLC. That's some horseshit right there. But today was a day. Thank you for coming back. Tech Demo Hero, what's up, Smooth? There it comes. Tech Demo's a hero. Oh, man. My stretches. Doing some stretches. Don't worry, Cat Daddy Lurk. Don't worry. Don't worry. So, first point I wanted to make here. The first point is that what was shown today with the Unreal Engine 5, I'm going to say right now, actually, we have it right here. I'm sure you've seen it. I'm sure, everybody has seen it. But first, wait, before that, intro, please. There we go. Now I'm back. So, where is it? This deal. Ooh, here it is. So, what was shown today? Oh, I was clicking on the wrong thing. There we go. Unreal 5. All right. Now, when I saw Mock Rain and shit, it was like, oh yeah, Unreal 5. Oh, I'm ready for, I'm tuning in. I'm like, oh crap, is this gonna be more tech jargon, more tech mumbo jumbo? And when I first saw these guys like this, I was like, oh, here we go. More tech, more stuff telling me about what the future's gonna be and all this other crap. Then what I thought was interesting is that they came into this video right here and they actually showed gameplay, somebody controlling this thing. Now, this is a tech demo, and I'm going to be very clear with everybody. There is nothing stating here. Now, let me say, technologically, there's nothing here that we're looking at that the Xbox Series X it can't do. The Xbox Series X will be able to run this. They're going to run Unreal 5. All right? Their games, this is the future of games. Like, this is going to affect all of everybody. PlayStation, Xbox. What's up, Social? Cat Daddy, what's up, Hamana? How you guys doing? DeFloyd, what's up? Like, this is going to... Oh, shit. Now the chat's like... Hold on. The chat's like, blocked. Damn. Display capture. Like, that's the thing. Like, the thing is... Oh, I thought I did that. The thing is, guys, is that there is no doubt that the Xbox is not able to do this, okay? And that's something just to make very clear. Like, this is not one of the things I was a little disappointed in. Am I blocking? Yeah, I'm not blocking you guys. No, can't block the grinders. But the one that I was disappointed in that this turned out not to be a game, right? This was not a game that we could play. This is a tech demo. I thought maybe they would say, hey, this game is releasing or something like that, next year or something like that. This is a tech demo made specifically to demonstrate the Unreal 5 engine, which kind of sucks. Like, you're not playing this. Even though I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, would this be a game that's, how's this different than Tomb Raider and all those other games, right? The point is that it is not a video. This is not a pan over of 2 seconds of gameplay. They're controlling this. This is a game. And this is from a game player's perspective. My points today are really about just the approach of this. Not saying that, because I've seen a lot of stuff on the Twitters, and the Twitters has been lit to no end. Okay? Lit to no end. About this is not a playable, this is not a real game. This is just, this is not real. It's 1440p at 30 frames per second. But I'm here to talk about from a consumer perspective, because that's what I talk about as a consumer. Exactly, Mark One. A playable tech demo. What's up, Jemiah? How you doing? Over on the Twitch. The thing is that this is a demonstration of next generation. Whether this is a real game, which it's not, it's a demonstration of gameplay and what a game will look like for next generation. They do this a lot with Unreal, right? I hate Twitch. So, and yeah, they put the prompts in there and stuff like that. Of what we've seen so far up to this point, up to today, has been very kind of just not somebody playing a game, right? It was hard to say, hey, this is what I'm going to experience. Because that's the biggest challenge with gameplay. And you could see from last week, whether like people like, well, no gameplay. And they Aaron Greenberg had to come out and apologize that we set expectations incorrectly and things like that. So, the thing is that up to this point, we have not seen what your end user experience will be. It was a lot of cinematics, a lot of things that we saw in last week's Xbox video where this is anticipated of what it's going to look like on in-game engine stuff running on a Series X. And the big complaint that we had from Thursday's thing was, where is the gameplay? Where is the next-gen gameplay? That's where the marketing failed with Microsoft showing that. And the gameplay was in question. So today, Unreal comes in and demonstrates gameplay of next generation, and you could see things. And if you remember my previous video when I was showing the Assassin's Creed and what gameplay was when they showed it on the Xbox stage, people make assumptions as people are making judgments as they're watching this, right? As they're watching this, they're like, look at the lighting bouncing off of there. Look at look at how those those bugs are reacting to the light. Look what's going on. They're making whatever they're visualizing, they're looking at it and saying, hey, I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen this before. Look at that. Look at those animations. That's what gameplay does, because it shows it from a gamer's perspective. And that's why people were eager to see gameplay last week, because the issue is that, hey, you're trying to sell us $500-$600 premium consoles. Where's the premium experience? And that's why a lot of that stuff was lacking. And not only just from the Twitter world, but I told you yesterday, in the world of in the media, going, games are not going to look that great next generation. Temper your expectations. And Jeff Keighley was like, this is not going to age well. And he retweeted it today going, after you see this tweet did not age well. You got to look at it from what is being shown here, the gameplay. And this is the part here where I was like, whoa. No load times. Not like this thing just went right into this right here. And it was pretty impressive. Like right here, I thought it was going to end right here when she just drops off. I'm like, okay, look at the distance, the draw distance and stuff like that. It's done, right? And then when she drops off and it zooms down and it goes woof, and like this is pretty crazy with the detail that's going on as this is happening. Pretty crazy. the capabilities of everything. What's up, Eddie T? How you doing, Big Keith? So this is what people wanted to see when you're trying to show next generation. They don't want to see current generation games saying that they're optimized for next generation because they're running off an SSD. Especially that we don't have our hands onto it. Visuals are very important right now, and this did its job. Yeah, it showed what the potential is of next generation with Unreal, which again, this is an exciting time for Xbox too. Like the Xbox will use Unreal 5. You know, now these guys are all blurry now, but it will use Unreal 5. But now we come full circle and it goes to the title of this thing. Right? What's up, Daniel B? Merc, what's up? Thank you, guys. Hit the like button. Yes, Merc is right. Hit that like button. But now we come to the part where the messaging. You know that's what grinds my gears. That's why you know I'm grinds my gears. Because as soon as I see one, I look at the other. Okay? This is the thing. The messaging. Last week, it was bad messaging, and Greenberg had to apologize for overhyping stuff. There was no hype. Sony didn't say, hey, stay tuned for some sneak peek of next-gen gameplay. Maybe they learned their lesson. But the biggest thing that I find, and probably the most frustrating thing for the competition, is that Sony is not... There's no Yoshida hugging these guys. There's no Triple H head Hunter Helps, whatever the hell his name is, rolling around in the background shaking hands. Sony is not even here. But these guys and the interview after are just gushing and talking about why this is PlayStation 5. They are marketing the hell out of PlayStation 5 without even Sony lifting up a goddamn finger. And I think as coming from the Xbox perspective, that has to be the most frustrating thing, because all Microsoft did was talk, and tell us about next generation. Tell us about teraflops. Tell us about VRS. Tell us about ray tracing. Telling, and then showing in-game, in-engine things. In-engine. No gameplay, but in-engine. Then when it was gameplay time, they showed current-gen games with the tramp stamp on it of optimized for Series X. What does that mean? You had a whole show, Xbox 2020, full vision. And why did I come away from that going, I don't know what the hell they're talking about, because they didn't show any gameplay. They did nothing to tell me why this had to be a Series X event. Why was this about Xbox? They failed that messaging. This show, from marketing perspectives, this silly thing of gameplay, this thing told... They're using the SSDs to stream in these triangles. The SSD allows us to do this. This thing. The Sony architecture does this. That's all they were talking about. And Keeley was trying to get on the friggin' console war, right? He was even trying to get him to say something. They just go, yeah, we could port it over to other platforms. But he's like, these SSDs that's in Sony is bigger than any high-end PC. Sweeney said that stuff. He might be talking out his ass, but shit, huge developers saying that stuff. And this is not a publisher. This is not a third-party publisher. This is Unreal Engine. This is the engine that games will be built on. And people are like, well, it's a partnership. Oh, holy shit, that's some goddamn partnership, because they're partnering with the people that are making the engine for probably 90% of the games. This is not an exclusive publishing deal. This is this is the engine that are running this stuff. And if it's all tricks, it's all tricks. But you want to know what? These are good-ass looking tricks. Jemiah, do we run around and tell me the secret to all your magic tricks? The mystery is the amazement part. Like, how did you do that? This is probably all tricks. Because probably if you really were going to run this raw power, you probably need 50 teraflops. Who the hell knows? I just think, like, the thing is that and the same thing happened to when Mark Cerny had his Snorefest, right? When Mark Cerny had his Snorefest. After that, developers came out all over Twitter and were talking about why this is important, what the SSD is. Sony wasn't having Major Nelson running around, even though they don't have one. They weren't having Aaron Greenberg running around talking, hyping up Xbox. It's like when Microsoft hypes up something, it's a very closed kind of like the same people. They're internal people. And then maybe they grab some single devs or somebody like that like indie devs. Sony is grabbing these guys, and these people are doing the work for them. It's just crazy how quiet Sony has been, but how effective the marketing has been. It's all over the place. This is running on a PlayStation 5 dev kit. This is not running on a high-end PC, and the whole showcase was about PS5. This is on a PS5 dev kit. PS5. Teraflop conversation? No. This was all PS5, SSD, streaming textures in there, look at the capabilities, and it showed next generation gameplay. Yes, it's a tech demo. Yes, this is not a real game. And who knows if a game will look like this, right? But those are all like, we're not going to know until we're in next generation. But all I could say is that this looks promising. This gets people excited. This lets people go, wait, that's on PlayStation? I had some texts from people that I don't even, they're going like, whoa, what's this? Like people are like, oh, this is a next generation game? But it's not a real game, but this is what a game on PlayStation could look like. And the other aspect I want to mention too is you all know, everybody, Xbox, Nintendo, every PC guys, you all know Sony's first party games. We're going to see 18 minutes of gameplay tomorrow in a current gen game. We already saw a trailer of Last of Us 2, and you commit that those games look better than a lot of stuff that we have seen from any camp. And those are current gen games. So you know that Sony has the potential with their first party, with other games, to make their games look like this. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And I'm telling you, I think if Sony is going to demonstrate this as a potential for Unreal Engine, I'm sure they're kind of saying, hey, these are the kind of games that we're going to make to come. Like, I don't think they're going to show this and then go, our next game is going to be some friggin' Hokey Dokey game. Like, Hokey Dokey cartoon, I'll buy that. I'd buy that for $1 game. No, I think Sony is revving this up to show Horizon 2 or whatever Star game that Corey Balrog's working on or anything like that. This is a build-up. God of War 2. People looking at this going, God of War 2, holy shit, what's that going to look like? Like, that's the thing. You know that the Sony... That's what makes this even more exciting to know what next generation will look like and know that with Sony Studios with this, because of their history, not just blind fandom, but because of what they have done. You are only measured by the latest thing that you have done. This gets you excited for next generation. This is why you need a next generation console. And that was the effective marketing that was presented today. Because if you look at last week's stuff was like, really not excited. Next gen really doesn't look any more impressive than this generation. Do you remember? It was only 6 days ago. Next generation, I think I might stick with my X. I'm sticking with my X. I'm not going, there's no reason to own a next generation console. That was all the talk all weekend because that was an ineffective show. And that's why I said, we need a hero. We need somebody to demonstrate next generation. Whether they do it with an in-gameplay engine, it was gameplay. If this was a friggin' video that said in-game assets or some bullshit like that, game engine assets, it would not get the amount of focus that it's getting right now because it would just be the same thing that was shown last week. Because if you look right here, if you go to this, and also too, this, unless Pickle, Jeff Keighley, shout out to Smooth who calls on the Picklehead. Picklehead Jeff Keighley, he could have almost I'm so honored to show this. He was a little overhyped. When I first saw this, I was like, this better be not no goddamn UE engine bullshit. Like, this better be, something else, right? Now, you just saw what I showed, right? Like what we saw here. Now, this, just to refresh everyone's memory, here's some glimpses of what we were shown last week. Now, this, Jesus, Aaron Greenberg on the goddamn potato cam. And that's right, Mark. Like, that's where I'm seeing a lot of the devs really talking about. Like, it really goes to show, like, Sony really did hear what the devs are, because the devs are actually excited. Like, not seeing too much here. Like, it just seems there's a lot of talk. Like, I think this looked really good. The 30-minute game that's in early access that is going to get a thing. Like, okay, fine. But that game looks good. Like, I'll go get this. But this is what I'm going to try to show you. Like, if you look here, and just comparing where we were last week to what we saw today to kind of get that thing. If you look here, like, here's Scorn, right? And look at the bottom where it says, like, right, oh shit. And I covered it up. It says it right there. See if it goes away. And this is what we saw in a lot of those things. Game. Oh, what does that say? Shit. Now see, that sucks. Here it is. Game and console in development. Footage representative of expected Xbox Series X gameplay. Yes, thank you, Callie. Give me a follow over on Twitch. But we saw this in front of all these things. Representative of expected Xbox Series X gameplay. Right? Now, you gotta give them credit. These are real games, right? These are real games. But they didn't show gameplay of them. And that's where the criticism came in. Like, these are real games. So you got to give them credit that Microsoft did show real games over this engine, right? But what got people more excited? Seeing gameplay of a potential what a game will look like rather than this video stuff, right? The wow factor, exactly. Here, this is like in their next generation showcase. Here, like, this is the kind of gameplay that they've shown. And then the Assassin's Creed one was a travesty. I mean, everybody's like, oh, next gen. Oh, this is next gen. No, these are current gen games. And if the games are not ready, then you show the potential of your system. And that's where Microsoft didn't do that job. Marketing, excitement. You could guarantee if you watch the two of those shows, you will be more excited for the PlayStation 5, regardless if that's a real game or not, because you see the potential. You could imagine yourself playing that because that is gameplay. That is next-gen gameplay. That's not current-gen gameplay. That's just running on new hardware, which a lot of this show was about. And unfortunately, everybody says wait till July. July is going to be something similar. July is going to be all Xbox One X games run on the Series X and vice versa. So a lot of the games that you're going to see are going to be cross-gen games just running on better hardware. See, that's the problem when you have this whole cross-generation thing when you go full next generation. You need to have balance. You need to have some next generation stuff. Like, what the Medium guy said. I liked, they really didn't clarify this in this video. But the Medium guy said, hey, we're making a next gen game because we can't run this stuff on old ass shit. Like, he said that. Oh, wow. Sam L says, PlayStation 5 reveal rumored to have massive amount of games by Resetera Insider today. I don't know about insiders, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is just the start. And Microsoft better get ready. Because everybody's saying, well, Sony was quiet. Sony's afraid. This is the beginning. And Microsoft better have some games to show. And, I think Hellblade has the potential to try to match what next generation gameplay would be. But what they did on Thursday was not good. And they overhyped this thing, which pissed off a lot of media and a lot of people. This was overhyped to the T, but it said representative of next generation gameplay. And that's not good. You know, if it's not ready, it's not ready, right? And the fact is that this Sony match, like, they basically, shout out to the 53 grinders watching this thing. Holy shit, I just saw that thing. I almost fell out of the chair. Hit that like button, baby. Share out this video. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, grinders out there. Grinders, it's craziness right now. It's craziness. This is going to get crazier. But we're at a tipping point right now. We've seen some next generation gameplay. Our lips are wet. Too excited. Oh, we're going to hear a lot of those, right? But we needed to see this. And what's crazy, this is another reason why I wanted to talk to you grinders about this stuff. Because I said this on Thursday night. I don't know. I came on this shit a lot. I talked a lot about this shit. The fact is, it's not necessarily, look at it from a consumer's perspective. It's not necessarily the tit for tat. Like, it's the really, if you look, oh my God, this thing got 500 dislikes? Damn. Not my video, but this GameSpot video is like 500 dislikes. Shit, they're still disliking this Xbox reveal. My God. Is it everywhere about the IGN one? Ooh, Jesus. 4,000 dislikes. Holy shit. Yeah, people were not happy. Now let's see this thing. Yeah, look at this. GameSpot one. 3.5 thousand likes, 84 dislikes. Goodness gracious. You think this is what people wanted to see? The thing is that this gets me so amped up because it gets me so mad. Why are you mad? Because it's a fall from grace. Because it shows a disconnect with Xbox. They piss me off so much with this shit. They had the talk. They had the power. They had this stuff. And what they did was they failed so bad they made people extra thirsty, extra hungry. And look what happened. Sony came goddamn in like the friggin' FEMA and fed people with next generation gameplay. They capitalized on Microsoft's failings. What did they do in 2013? What did they do? Microsoft said, oh, you can't trade your games. You bring them in and you scan them and this and that. And Sony's like, fuck, what? Yeah, trade my game, my friend. Something so simple. They devastated them with that shit. They're like, we're not doing what they're doing. Microsoft's taking current gen games, slapping tramp stamps on them and going, guys, Series X. Sony got other people doing the Lord's work. Going, look at this. Here's a next-gen game only powered by the PlayStation 5 because it's using the SSDs. It's using all the tech, all the bullshit that back Sony put us to sleep to. But look at it. And people were so friggin' hungry because Microsoft's thirst, they starved them. 2 years to take control, Eric the friggin' beard. 2 years. For what? The stage all to themselves at E3, Phil Spencer with shirts galore. For what? To show third party and a bunch of indie hokey dokies? I buy these for a fucking $1. And I'm talking about games on phones.
To play these games on your phone. So we thought about how
that's what you use the spotlight for. That's what you use the spotlight for. To talk about goddamn xCloud and bullshit phones and gaming for $1 and a box of Pop-Tarts. Holy shit. the stage all to yourself, and you fell right on your face. So frustrating. You make it so easy.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
I need a goddamn music interlude to calm myself down. Holy shit. The fuck? Kidding me? You kidding me? Come on, man. The stage, 2 years they were quiet. They didn't say shit. But then they come out here and they show this goddamn stuff. People were thirsty because Microsoft took away the water. Hit that like button, everybody. There's bullshit going on here. It's exciting. But if you just look at what's been going on. I can't bother to be... What? With a raid? Did I get raided? I didn't even go over to Twitch. Yo, what's up, Twitch family? Merc. Oh man, Merc is having cracking up, man. Merc having cracking up. He was like, I want to see some games. This is some bullshit. Merc's like 3080 Ti can't come fast enough. Merc will have his day tomorrow. When Nvidia reveals their stuff, Merc will be in his glory. He'll be like that Nick Cage meme where he just walks out and the sun smashes on. Jemiah 2. I think Jemiah 2 is going to be like that too. I think they're going to be out there. With Merc, he's going to be out there. The sun's going to hit him in the face and Merc going to be like, 3080 Ti's. Dude, yo, man. Nvidia's going to bring that smoke, man. They're going to bring that heat. They can't have AMD have all this love. This is what competition does. This is gloriousness. This is it. This is it, man. But let me explain. He starts like doing the 30. Well, I expect Merc to do an impromptu ultra preset podcast with himself. And he's just going to do like, talk about these 3080 Ti's. And then they're going to say, like, it's $2,000 again. It's like, oh, what's up? Yo, what's up, Meds? Thank you, Erica, with the raid. Eric, it wasn't Erica, it was Eric. The cruise. Erica don't give me the raid. She gave Merc the raids last night. Thank you, Eric. Thank you. Oh, it is Erica. I'm reading it fast, man. The chat's like flying. Merc is pulling up line tomorrow. Holy shit. Merc is good. Oh, man. Yo, man. Hey. To each his own. Everybody loves. I'm excited for those cards. I think it's great because I do think that a lot of the tech talk that AMD has been pumping up, Nvidia is going to, I like Nvidia graphics cards anyway. I do like them because that's what I have. but Nvidia and I also I forget his name, but that guy's a rock star, man. I forget his name. The guy who runs Nvidia. When he does his shows with his leather jacket on, man, he that guy's a rock star. But I damn into PC game. I play, but you want to know what? I am telling you, this running on a console, like I'm sure your Unreal 3 is gonna run on PC. I'm sure it's gonna take a lot of benefits and things like that. And we said this yesterday, man. I'm like, I need a cup of water. Nobody wants to come down here and talk to me because they know I'm like crazy. I'm going crazy. Everybody's staying away from me. But the thing is like, this stuff is gonna run. What is it? Rhythm says when Xbox gives you doubt, turn around and let it bail out your PC. Dude, yeah, I'm gonna play some Halo 2. But the thing is that if you look at, and I don't want to call PC, guys. PC is its own thing, man. PC has its love. I have its love for PC. I think it's great. I love the accessibility. I love the variety of games. I love the configurations, the tweaking, and it's so much easier now than it ever has been, thanks to Steam and thanks to Windows 10. I think Windows did a lot of work. Microsoft put a lot of work in making PCs like a gaming platform. And shout out to them with Game Pass and Game Pass, and also with You know, with the dock and that toolbar and stuff like that. But it's great. But we look at the console space and look what's going on between the two heavyweights. Come on, this is it. Xbox and Sony. It's been going on for a long time. What Microsoft's shown on their showcase, talking the talk and showing the power, the carpet didn't match the drapes. Sorry, everybody. The talk did not match what was being shown. And we needed to see next-gen gameplay. People were thirsty. People were hungry. And now, whether it's a tech demo or not, the thing is what is seen is potential and what's going to be done with this engine that's going to be running games. And tomorrow, you're going to get Ghost of Tsushima, which is a current-gen game, looking better than a lot that's being shown currently, especially the stuff that was shown last week or wasn't shown in Assassin's Creed's case with friggin' Ubisoft. But people like, this is third party. Like, it's an engine. This is not a publisher. This is not, and people are like, well, why are they not showing this on Xbox? You don't know what? That's a good question. That's a good question. See, Jemiah says no RTX. Well, I gotta tell you, RTX ray tracing. I turned it on in Call of Duty. I'm not that impressed. It hurts frame rates. Who the hell knows? There's a ray running at 30 frames per second. Maybe it runs at 15 if they turn on ray tracing. Who the hell knows? All I know is that it looks damn good. You know, it looks good. It did its marketing job. That's where you gotta look at it. That's where it is. Shout out 65. Holy crap. 65 grinders. Hit that like button. Share the video. Subscribe. Woo!
Another one, and another one, and another.
Merc says ray tracing's a sham. I turned ray tracing on Call of Duty. It didn't. It hurt my frame rate. I turned it off because it turns up your anti-aliasing real high. Exactly. It looks good. Performance sucks. But you want to know what? It's not a playable demo, right? No, we're not playing it. You know what? We're not playing it. So it's like, but if this is what if this is what devs could do, and they could balance out, performance and this stuff, and like I said yesterday on Ultra Preset, shout out to Merc and the guys, Hustle moved for this first show yesterday, and to Audible, and Frogs. But like we said yesterday, like if these, I think a lot of these games, especially on console, are gonna have either performance and graphic, like they're gonna have high resolution, probably lower frame rate like things, and they're gonna have high frame rate, and lower resolution. I think they're gonna have a performance mode and a graphics mode for those people, right? Like that. I think that's what they're gonna have. So, that's why I think everybody like, oh, well, Assassin's Creed is at least 30. Well, they're probably fixing the graphics mode, and they'll probably have the performance mode later on. And yeah, it's gonna take time. Like ray tracing is still early on and stuff like that. I'm a fan. Actually, what's amazing? I'm not a fan so much of lighting. I'm a fan of physics. I'm a physics nut. I love when like you walk around and things move because you kick them. Or if I bump into a chair, like that's almost like the first thing that I do in games. Like if I see a chair, I walk into it, and if that chair tips over, like with real physics, I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. But if I walk into the chair, my character just stops and that chair just stays there, I'm like, that's for me. That's a little thing for me. Or if there's a table and I walk onto the table, I hit the table and the table falls over and all the stuff on the table falls off the table. I'm a physics junkie. I like realistic physics. Things that should move in a game. I think it adds to the immersion. I think it shows more care. It shows cool things. You know what I mean? For me, like one of the things I think, like Control, as weird as it was with the frame rate and stuff like that, man, when you shot stuff, the destructibility and how you could manipulate, like I shot the shelf and the shelf came down and the books came down and everything just had real physics to it. I love that stuff. I like that a lot. I'm a physics person. Maybe it's my science background. I don't know. I like science. Maybe that's what it is. But that's what I like. Graphics are great, but if it has some cool physics, I'm all about the physics. And you can manipulate the physics, that's even fun too. It's a Life and Time podcast. So we get we're getting hyped over a tech demo. The thing is, what was shown was impressive and potential for what's going on. Xbox they showed games, but they had that little stipulation. These are games in what we think the engine is. You got to think about it. These two shows were not just random ass shows. Okay? These two shows, today's show, Keeley, he knows why would he do some other thing? He is ushering in the next generation. Whenever we go into a next generation of consoles, PC guys, I know this is maybe mute your microphones because you don't want to hear this, because this is peasant talk according to you guys in the PC world. This is peasant talk. But you know what? You have your days too when you get your upgrades. But when you look down and you look at the next generation and the lead up to the generation, the biggest thing is, why do I need to upgrade? Just like what NVIDIA is going to do tomorrow. You don't think NVIDIA is going to do a whole bunch of tech demos to show you the capabilities of the 3080 Ti? You know, and they're probably going to show you maybe The Witcher 3 running on a 2080 compared to the 3080 and what you can do. 300 frame rates on The Witcher 3 at 4K. Who the hell knows? They're probably going to show you tech demos tomorrow. Similar to what we saw here. A tech demo. Maybe they're not gameplay, or maybe they're CPU units and all that other stuff. But you're going to see those on NVIDIA's stage. Because NVIDIA don't make games, okay? NVIDIA don't make games. They're not a publisher. NVIDIA is going to show you how their hardware works with games that exist, and probably going to show you tech demos. Look how many ducks we got. Look how many ducks in the PlayStation thing. But you're going to see tech demos. And tech demos, come on, PC guys. Come on now. Who's Life and Time? You better not be no PC guy. I think you're an Xbox. I don't know. I don't like putting people in groups. But come on, PC guys. What do you all do? See, this is what happens when you talk to Grinds My Gears, because I got a foot in everything. All right? What do we do when we get our graphics cards? Come on now. What do we do? Do we go play our games? No. We run benchmarks. Right? Merc, we run benchmarks, right? Those are not games. We go run our benchmarks to tell me how more powerful my GPU is. Or I start up a game and run the benchmark. All right? You tell me how this game runs. We run benchmarks. We run this. You run benchmarks. So tech demos have exactly the intent of what a GPU does. Exactly, Life and Time. You go to consoles for games. Me too. I like the consoles. I dab into PC stuff. But what I'm trying to say is, like, you don't go... Yeah. Oh! Jemiah the Spin Doctor. You got to run the benchmarks so you could tweak. But when you... I know, we're shopping for graphics cards. When you look at graphics cards, they really don't demo them. No, they do. Sometimes they demo them in games, but a lot of times they run the benchmark, the GFX, what is it, GTX or the GFX benchmarks, and you know, we see benchmarks, which are basically just calculations of showing the potential of the card, or which is basically a bunch of just intense graphic overlays and interest physics things and lighting and stuff like that to kind of show you the capabilities of the card. But a lot of times you run the benchmarks to see what the capabilities are, especially when you get a new card. I'm not saying you do this all the time. But when you get a new card, you run tech demos to see how the card works. And then you're going to see it in real applications. So that's where a lot of those benchmarks do. But I'm just saying, people saying don't get hyped over tech demos, that's basically how they sell you your graphics card. Right? They sell you your graphics card with tech demos. And we'll see some more tomorrow. And again, I'm not going like you need to cry over this. You don't want to Last of Us 2 over this footage today. Right? Oh my God, look at the bugs. I'm going to cry. Give me something. You know what I mean? No. For a marketing and for an introduction to what the potential of next generation with consoles at least, and even PC with the Unreal 5 engine, you know what I mean? It basically... There's no hate for PC. I love about PC stuff. But I understand it's tech demos. We do tech demos to show the power of it. I know, Merc. I want games too. I'm telling you, when I first saw the beginning of this thing and I saw the two dodos sitting there at Epic, and I'm like, oh, shit, here we go again. More tech to, oh, my guys. And they start talking about all their little, I didn't even, the Luminance and all the other shit. I'm like, oh, my God. It wasn't until they panned in and showed this thing and actually showed them controlling it. And I'm like, oh, gameplay. And that's the whole point of this thing. Like, I'm just saying, for the effective marketing of when you're comparing the two consoles, not PC, but when you're comparing two consoles that just had their kind of preliminary showcases as to what the potential of next gen is. That's what I'm saying. This wasn't just Random Ass Show 1 and Random Ass Show 2. Last week's show was recent. Those top up games look fun. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I'm crazy. I'm drunk right now. It's too crazy. I'm buzzed. But what I'm trying to say is the efficacy, the efficacy of these two shows. Oh, really? Epic is just mad PC. Tim Sweeney's pissed. That's why he was hyping up the PlayStation 5. He's like, PlayStation 5 is even better than those high-powered PCs. You know, because he's pissing off people with this Epic store. But the thing is that if you look at the two events and the purpose of the two events, Sony had nothing really to do with this one. It just was that the Sony branding and marketing was all over the place. This was a hype for the Sony PlayStation 5's capabilities. And I couldn't believe it. Like, people were like, well, this is a third party. Well, you want to know what? If you listen to what they were showing and what they were talking about, all they kept saying is like, this is the SSD stream, like kind of like mimicking exactly what Sony was talking about. The streaming of the textures, and look at this, all the triangles and this stuff, and load screen, like zoom right into this. We're going right into this stuff. And it really gave justification to some of the stuff that Sony was talking about. And I know there were questions going, well, the T-flop wars, T-flops. Guys, it's about the content. It's about what the demonstration of what your system is capable of. You could talk all you want on a spec sheet, but you got to start seeing it in action. And this is a beginning. This is not like, yo, go put your pre-order down. But for the efficacy of getting somebody excited for next generation, Microsoft stumbled yet again with their messaging. Not saying that those games were bad, but with the messaging. They're stumbling where they overhyped it, they underdelivered, they didn't show what people wanted to see. And this comes over just a week later, and Sony comes up. What do they do this week? Gameplay. Right? Gameplay. Sony comes in and they go, guys, here's Uncharted, here's Last of Us 2. Oh, the Last of Us 2 last week, they showed gameplay of it. Or Cinemax, whatever the hell they show of that shit, right? But this week, State of Play, we're showing 18 minutes of gameplay for Ghost of Tsushima. Yes, it's a current-gen game, but the emphasis on gameplay, knowing last week that was a controversial... What's up, Josh Scholes? How you doing? Yeah, Hydro, yeah, the 12 teraflops, I know. Like, you know, on a spec sheet, it looks good. Jemiah's saying the 3080 Ti is going to be 21 teraflops. Holy crap. Liquid cooling, yeah, you're going to have to piss on that thing to liquid cool that. Holy crap, was that 4 fans? Damn. But what you do, shout out to the 60 grinders. Oh my goodness, guys, this is huge. Hit that like button, share it out, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But if you think about it, what the effects were of the both shows. Last week, gameplay was a what is gameplay? What is gameplay? Greenberg had to say, we're sorry. This like, oh, but an in-game engine showing me to play the game, that's gameplay. Is gameplay. What's gameplay? And then Sony, and I said, that show, and I know everybody don't like the title too much, but the thing is that show basically goes like, could this be not as bad as 2013 when Microsoft stumbled with gameplay because they led off with a wrong message, but they kind of led off with they pissed off people last week. They pissed off the media, which are already probably pissed at them. And when you're not doing too well in last place, you're doing fine as a company. But when you're not doing too hot with the sales of gaming stuff, like, you know, with your console, you gotta gain respect back. And you don't do that by stumbling out of the gate yet again after you had some good messaging leading up to it. And now, gameplay was in question. You didn't really show gameplay. People left that thing. I did the tweet, man. I got tons of tweets out there. I did the tweet where it was like, Austin, what's his name, was like, I'll tell you why Xbox Series X games don't look that good. Or like there's no upgrade. IGN did the video going, oh, why are you not going to see an upgrade in next generation games?
That's not your word.
It's not going to work. All right, thanks, Josh Schultz. Thank you for that. But what I'm saying is that what you've seen. OBJ, what's up? There was a question on what gameplay is, and then they swooped in, and Sony comes in there, even if they didn't even have the a Sony label on this thing. At least they came in and just said, emphasize gameplay. You're going to see 18 minutes of Ghost of Tsushima. This is gameplay on the PlayStation 5, running off of a PlayStation 5 dev kit. They couldn't say it enough in this thing. Epic was bull-washing PlayStation 5. They're like, SSDs and off a PS5 dev kit, and they just kept going. Emphasize that this is, and Keeley was even asking, I'm like, this is pulled right off a PlayStation 5 dev kit. This is what it's running on a PlayStation 5. This is not running on a PC with the similar specs or anything like that. This is running on a PlayStation 5. You know? But again, just to pull it back, I'm not saying it's over, they won, it's over. Sony still didn't do anything yet. We didn't see what Sony's making. Okay? But for messaging as a kickoff for next generation, this is more effective. And this did its job. Not a real game, but it did its job. And that's the thing. It did its job to hype people up, saying that's what a PlayStation 5 game looks like. And Sony was smart and effective with marketing, man. For somebody who's so quiet, it's so frustrating because Microsoft's been doing so much talking and had the momentum to demonstrate. They said, hey, you want to see next-gen gameplay last week? And didn't. This is what people were expecting. You know what I mean? If this was saying, hey, this is running on a Series X, which it probably can. Not going to say, oh, this is exclusive to PlayStation. Only PlayStation can do this. That's bullshit. The Series X could do this, and maybe even does it at a higher resolution because of the extra teraflops, right? You never know. But just the messaging, guys. Remember, we always said it's going to come down. Both these consoles are very capable. The PlayStation 5 and the Series X. They're capable consoles. They're next-generation consoles. Sony has momentum here with the games that they're currently releasing and with the games they have possibly coming based off of the history of how they've released their games. Microsoft is in a rebuilding stage and have games, but they're really focused on services, not necessarily driving hardware. Hardware is nice, but they really want to drive the services, and they're going to do that with more games. Problem is, it's going to be quantity over quality possibly. We need to wait to see what their games look like. And Microsoft could show kick-ass Halo 4. Halo Infinite, I mean. Like, it's out there. But I'm just saying, for right now, at this time and point, the messaging right now, with Sony not doing anything, they're slapping PlayStation 5 all over this thing, and it's all over the place. First gameplay reveal of PlayStation 5. First gameplay reveal of PlayStation 5. First gameplay reveal. Like, that's all over the internet. All over. Everybody. Which is a lot different than what we were at a week ago, where it was, what's gameplay? Microsoft stumbles out. Microsoft makes promises of gameplay but doesn't show it. That was last week. This week, we're like, here's next-gen gameplay. So who stepped up and who stepped aside? Take note. It's the messaging. It's not that, oh, I'm going to play this game. I can't wait to play this game. No, it's the messaging, and that's what I'm trying to get a point across. Like, people are going to be like, this is only can run on PlayStation 5. That's wrong. But this gets you hyped for PlayStation 5 because you know, first off, too, it also justifies people going, well, the PlayStation 5 is not going to be able to hang because it's 9 or 10 teraflops opposed to the 12 teraflops, and it's weaker architecture because of Sony had to finesse everybody. No, man. This makes PlayStation 5 look, we're telling you when next gen starts. And that's what they did. And that's where the efficacy comes in. And that's where the marketing is. And that's why Sony showed what Xbox or X didn't. Or Xdon't. Sony shows what X don't. That's the whole point of this whole thing. Microsoft said, let's see next gen gameplay. They didn't show it effectively. They show gameplay, but it was of games that are current gen running on next gen. If they think they're going to do this, well, they're probably going to have to do the same thing with next generation game, like with their July event too. Their July event is going to be a bunch of cross gen games, right? Hey, how you doing, Ice Queen Gaming? But you know what I mean? Like, they're going to do the same thing because all their first party games are cross generational games. And this is where I've been waiting to do this show. Not this one, but the show when Sony comes out and going, here is a PlayStation 5 game only available on PlayStation 5 because we're doing this, SSD this, graphics this, resolution this, frame rate this. That's why. And this is the start of that because they are demonstrating next generation. They're not showing you current generation games running on a PlayStation 5. If they would have came out here and said, here's Ghost of Tsushima, it has a PlayStation optimized for PlayStation 5 stamp on it. Okay, but Ghost of Tsushima looks good. You know, but it's still, like if Sony was like, oh yeah, where's Ghosts? It's current gen games running on next gen hardware. If that's, Microsoft did this already. That's what frustrated me so much last week. I'm like, you tried to finesse everybody last time, 3 years ago, telling us to play our Xbox One games just enhanced on a $500 piece of hardware. You did not make anything really special for the Xbox One X. We understand that was a mid-gen refresh. So, like, you know, it wasn't a next generation. However, guys, this is a next generation right now. You can't do the same thing. You can't sell us on mid-gen upgrades for a next-generation console. That's the problem. And that's what Microsoft did last week to piss people off. That's why nobody was impressed, because these were current-gen games running, supposedly, because it has the stamp on it, optimized for Series X, running on next generation. That's all they did. And nobody walked away impressed. And they didn't show enough gameplay of Assassin's Creed, which was the only game that possibly could have really kind of highlighted what a possible next-gen game might have looked like. But they didn't even talk about load times. They didn't talk about SSDs. They didn't say, hey, the 12 teraflops. There was no marketing for the Xbox itself. There was nothing telling you last week that this was a Series X event. These games are running on the Series X. Why? Oh, because they're using this, this, and this of the Series X. The Hovis method, the ray tracing. They're doing this. That's what this whole video today was talking about. It wasn't just somebody running through a thing. They stopped and showed you what the capabilities of the PlayStation 5 hardware allowed them to do. And that's how you sell next generation technology, and you make people excited for next generation. These textures on these rocks. You know what I mean? You're looking at this. They're not changing. It's not popping in. Again, it's optimized. So I'm not going to say this is exactly what everything's going to be. But the potential. And people could see gameplay, and they could see a game like this. You need that visual. Not cinematics going like, Scorn, well, that looks pretty creepy. What kind of game is it? From watching that, you had no clue that it's a first-person survival game. You had no clue. It could have been a top-down... that other game, that other game that they showed, which was the cyberpunk-looking like game. Oh, wow, this looks really cool. And then all of a sudden, it was a top-down shooter. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's the kind of game it is. That's why people need to see gameplay. You could show me pretty cinematics running an engine. But people want to know what they're going to play from their perspective. And that's what gameplay does. And that's what this did. Even though that this is not a real game, it did its job to demonstrate and get people excited for the potential of next generation, and specifically get them excited for the PlayStation 5. Oh, they said that these are Gears 5 textures. There you go. Even more reason why Microsoft should have probably demoed this, right? The most powerful console should have the demonstration of the next engine, right? They didn't. And people say it's Sony, it's marketing. Well, you want to know what? That's smart marketing. Why wouldn't you market with the engine that's going to make a majority of next generation games? So yet again, the marketing and the messaging overcome what the competitor's doing. And that's where this whole thing is like use Microsoft's missteps, come back and smack them in the face twofold. You know, they got criticized last week, Greenberg apologizing. oh shit, Coon. See, I thought you were real, man. I don't hear all this shit, Epic. I heard them talking. These are the gift. You got me. You got me.
You bastards! You vicious, heartless bastards!
That's for you to Coon. And I know what? I'm not. Yeah, you're getting this. Get the siren. Get that guy. Trolling in the Grinders chat. But anyway, I'm going to go on venting about this whole thing. But it is like, it did what it had to do. And that's all it is. People are going to say it's not a real game. Don't get hyped up on a real game. That's fine. It's not a real game. I'm not blind. I'm not dumb. I know, yeah, this is not real. But it did its job. It's not, hey guys, because I'm telling you, people tell me, oh, Microsoft's not going to tout out Sea of Thieves again in July and say it's enhanced for the Series X. Oh, they friggin' will. We know they're going to do that. You know, Sea of Thieves don't die. It's going to live on forever. They'll maybe don't put it in this show. They're going to talk about Sea of Thieves being playable on the Series and what it's going to do with the Series X. Because you want to know what? In the previous show, they teased it. Well, unless it's going to the Switch. Who the hell knows? But with that, guys, Sony did its job without even being there. And that's some spooky-ass shit. They had Epic sell people the PlayStation 5 without even a Yoshida or a Triple H there. What's up, Robert Stevens? How you doing? They didn't even have head Hunter Hearst Helmsley there or Yoshida even there. Epic sold the PlayStation 5, did Sony's work for them. Amazing. Meanwhile, Microsoft brought out their whole PR group with Greenbergs and 1080p, 120p webcams and mocking his Xbox as a refrigerator. You don't do that when you're in last place, dude. Like, when you're trying to sell a console, you demand respect. You don't troll yourself. You troll yourself when you're in the lead, but you don't troll yourself when you didn't release the console. You're already making fun that it's too big. And people haven't seen it yet. But before I go, I want to take Eric the Beard says, PlayStation 5 has been able to run games that look that amazing is cool and all, but have you seen the power of the Series X? Battletoads, Grounded, and other games coming to Cartoon Pass.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah. And that's been my rant for a while, but even for last week when I said these are the games that you're showing. But I don't want. The thing is that you look at things from both sides. Microsoft was showing real games though. This is a tech demo, so I give them credit for showing real games. The problem is that the games that they're showing are not representative of the talk and the tech that they're trying to promote. And that's the problem. Their message is not matching the content. They're shopping at Goodwill, mediocre, AA, indie guys, one guy, and trying to talk a power game. Exactly, Robert Stevens. They should have led with their first party. If their first party is looking anything like a next-generation game, they should have led with that last week. I totally agree, Robert. Exactly. And I agree, Carlos. Phil Spencer doesn't know what a good game is, and I think we've seen that over the last 3 years, or since he's taken reign. Phil Spencer does not know what good games are. He says he's hearing us, but he's not delivering. Like, this is the kind of game, even though this is not a game, but this is the kind of stuff that Microsoft needed to demonstrate for the Series X to show that they're making these type of looking games. I'm sure they will come, but Microsoft messaging has not been good. And that's been the issue. And their messaging faux pas of last week, Sony came in this week and capitalized it. Just going gameplay. It's gameplay. No matter if it's a tech demo or not, it's a perspective that a gamer could experience. And from what you've seen from Sony, just with the PlayStation 4, you could definitely imagine a game like this coming from Sony. That's the thing. Sony's content matches their tech. Microsoft has not. They have not shown that. And people are waiting on July. I say it again. All Microsoft's games are cross-generational games. They are working on all of them, so expect to see possibly limitations. Mr. Twister says, only Sony shows Horizon 2. Spider-Man, yeah, right? What, yeah. So Horizon 2, whatnot. I keep thinking Sony's going to, like, just make a mistake. And I thought this was the PlayStation 5. I was like, is it a V? Holy crap, that would be crazy. But it's not. I thought we were going to see what it looked like. But Sony, again, it's crazy. And they got those things right in their backlog, man. They got those things ready to go. Horizon 2, Spider-Man 2, God of War 2. Jesus. What? Man. Microsoft has a big hill to climb. And basically they start at the bottom right now with 2 left feet. Oh, maybe they could come back. Maybe there's some other reveals this month that, Microsoft could show. But, even the Halo 2 coming to PC, it was very low-key on that one. But, anyway, we could continue this conversation. Guys, comment in the bottom. Hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel. You can hit me over on Twitch as well. What Grinds My Gears 7780. Or on, I hope Robert Stevens, a nice fan of the Periscope. Hopefully you like that over there too. That was something new that I just started doing. But I'm going to try to reach my entire Grinder audience. But I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. A huge show. Thank you. I knew today was going to be a crazy day. I think tomorrow I'm probably doing another one to talk about Ghost of Tsushima. Hopefully, I'm assuming that's going to look absolutely amazing. Supposedly 18 minutes of gameplay. We're going to watch that. I'm probably not going to live stream it, but maybe I'll do a summary of what's going on. But you don't have to take my word for it. Go look at what the media is saying. Go look at what the narrative that's being created today is. Is PlayStation 5 and Unreal 5, the fives. And that's effective marketing. And it's the marketing and consumer mind share. And the developer mind share from what we've seen. The developers are doing Sony's work for them. No problem, man. No problem. Thank you for the support, Robert. Steven, shout out to you. And Eric the Beard. And guys, thank you again for all this, for the support. Hit that subscribe. Hit that like button. And grinders, to another day, I am out. Thank you again.